Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon when you are looking at this video. My name is Lillian Barnes, the Grants Online Trainer. And for this particular webinar, we are going to be going through the competitive application selection process. This process is it's going to be run by the person who has the role of the competition manager. Now, that's not actually a role in the person's user account. It is basically a role that you are playing in light of the process that we're going through. So whoever is going to be managing a competition for a competitive RFA, that means that a NOFO has been created. It was posted at grants.gov. Applications at this point would have come in. All of them should have passed the minimum requirements checklist. And now they have, after that, they have been sent to the competition manager. Prior to this process, also, they should have all been reviewed, and a review event should have been completed so that you have the scores and comments. And now the competition manager is ready to make a selection of which applications are going to actually be funded and move forward in the process for an award. I'm going to be logging in using the account GSTUDENT. That is the account that is going to be the application manager as we start this, the competition manager as we start this process. I'm going to be following the process map that is entitled Comp-3. So if you need to get to a process map, even before you log into the system, you can always click on this link down here that says Grants Online Training. And now that opens up our brand new website. This site has actually just launched today. And so all of our other videos, when you clicked on that link, it would have gone to our old website, but this website has launched today. This is our brand new Grants Online website. And on this website, in order to get to our process maps, it's right over here on the right-hand side. We have a link right here that says Grants Online Process Map. So I'm going to click on that link. And on this page, you will now see all of our process maps. We are going to be using the competitive workflow process maps. So I'm opening up that particular set, and I'm going to scroll down to Comp-3. As you see, that is select applications for funding. So I'm going to scroll down, Comp-1, Comp-2, and Comp-3. So this is the process map that we are going to be following in this particular webinar. I'm going to just make it a little smaller so you can see the entire process on the screen. As you see, again, we're going to be starting with the person who is going to be operating as a competition manager. So any federal program officer, anybody who has a role on their account, a federal program officer, can operate as a competition manager. Not only that, also a program office staff person. So either a certified or uncertified program officer and an program office staff, anybody with those roles can operate as the competition manager. Again, you can't see this note. I want to make it just a little bit bigger so that you can see the note. It says the select applications option remains available on the competition launch page. That's a global option which is available. So right now, there is no task in the inbox of the competition manager at this point. They have to navigate to the competition launch page to begin this process. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to flip back over to the login screen. I'm going to log in using the GStudent account. And I'll click OK. We are in, again, our training system. So in order to get started, because let's take a look at my task. I'm going to look at the tasks. I have a task for the universal RFA webinar, but I don't have one for the competitive RFA. And so at this point, in order to start that process map, I actually have to navigate to that competition from the RFA tab. So I just clicked on that tab. I'm going to search for the RFA that my competition is a part of. I'm going to put in the word remote because I know that that is part of the name of the RFA that I want to use. I'm going to click on competitive. I'm going to search. And here is the RFA that I need to use for this particular demo. I'm going to actually come over here and click directly on the competition ID. That'll allow me to skip one click. And on here, in the drop down, I have an option to select applications. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start from this particular option, submit. And now I'm going to come to a screen that allows me to determine of all of the applications that came in on my competition. They're down here. Which ones am I actually going to select for funding? Now, in this particular example, I did not do a review event in Grants Online, so you do not see any rank order in these boxes. However, if I had, and see, notice nothing found to display for the review events. However, if I had actually done a review event in Grants Online, I could use that review event to display the rank order of my applications, and then that would also help me to determine which ones I want to fund and which ones I don't. In this case, I'm going to manually add the rank order in, and this is what you would have to do if you actually had done your review events outside of Grants Online. So I'm going to make this one 1. I'm going to make this one 2, and this one 3. So this is the rank order that these applications theoretically came in based on the comments and scores that they received when they were reviewed. So now I'm going to click the Save button, and the system should reorder my applications according to the rank order that I just gave them. So let's take a look now, and notice the system did exactly that. It changed the order of the applications based on the rank order that I just input into this particular box. Now, with 3 applications, it's pretty easy, but imagine if I had 100 applications and I'm going to pick maybe the top 20 or 25 for funding. This would definitely be a useful tool because it allows me to then push to the top the ones that had the higher scores, and allows me to more easily pick the ones that I actually want to fund. Of course, the system does allow you to select out of rank order. It does not limit which particular applications you want to select, but if you do select out of rank order, please just be aware you need to make sure that you justify in the selection memo why they're being selected out of rank order. So right now I'm going to just click Add on each of these 3. I'm going to push each of these into the top section to denote by clicking the Save button that I have selected all 3 of these applications for funding. So now they are in the top section right here, all selected for funding. And I'm going to send these on through to my selecting official so that they can have a chance to review that. So let me just click back over to this tab. I have just selected the applications, and I'm going to now send the recommendations over to the selecting official. So these applications are being recommended for funding. this petition. Okay, I'm going to click save, and then I'm going to click done, which gets me off the page, gets me back to my launch screen, and now I can move forward in workflow. So I'm going to send these recommended applications to the selecting official and submit. All right, so this is now moved forward to the selecting official. I'm going to log off. I'm going to log in as the selecting official. All right, and let's see, in his task box or her task box, here is a task right here, review recommended applications. So let's go ahead and view that particular task. We're going to select from the drop down to review the recommended applications. These are actually the same page that you just saw before. Same comment right here. There are the 3 applications. Now, as the selecting official, I can review these. I can actually remove any of them from the list if I don't think they should be there. Or I could change the amount that I recommend for funding. So I'm going to say I recommend that this one gets cut in half and changed to $5,000 instead of $10,000 of federal funds. So now I'm going to click save. And that page is saved. Now I'm going to say done. At this point, I could actually return the recommendations back to the competition manager if I feel that they have to go through a process of reselecting or making modifications, or I could just approve the selections with the recommendation that I added to the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, approve the selections. And once I do that, we're going to initiate the next phase of the competition process, selection process, which is to allow our assigned program officers to now add award numbers to our applications. So I'm going to click on this particular option. Okay. And now we have gone on. Let's flip over to our process map. The selecting official has reviewed the recommended applications. They have now accepted the ones that were recommended, and now we just completed this task right here to initiate award number assignment. Those applications are now sitting with their respective assigned program officers, all 3 of them. And so we're going to do this particular step 3 times because we have to do it separately for each individual application. I'm going to log off as the selecting official, log back in as in this case, the assigned program officer. Right here, this person. Now, it just happens the way I set things up that this person and this person are the same person, the same user. So I'm going to go back and log in as my GSTUDENT account. And look at my tasks. And in my inbox, I have 3 tasks. As you see, today's date. So I just did these. These are the 3 separate applications that have been selected for funding. And so I need to go through each one of these applications and assign the award number. So let's start with the one at the top of the list. And we're going to assign the award number and the recipient to this application. Scroll through this. Notice at this point, the project type at the top has an asterisk. So I must select something here. Also, the place of performance has an asterisk. So I must select the correct radio button here. I'll do, in this case, we're going to keep this as the applicant's legal address. So when we do that, we must also select the city that the applicant is in. So let's go down here, and this one is in the city of I shouldn't have even used that one. It's hard to say. Gloucester Point, I think that's how you say it. So we're in Virginia. We're going to select the city. And let's see, these are cities in Virginia. See if I can find that particular one. Virginia has a lot of cities, doesn't it? Okay, go up to GL. And here we go, right here. So we have selected the city. Now let's come on down here and notice that we now have all of the information for the recipient in here. I did not have to click on the org lookup button because when I entered it, it had the DUNS number. So the system will automatically do the lookup if it has a DUNS number. Let's keep going. Where do I need to do something else? Down here, I need to add in the authorized representative. I need to associate this particular application with an authorized representative that is in our database. So let me do a search. Let's see what users are here on this particular one. I believe I set this one up. Let me just do this. I did not. Okay. So I'm just going to do a search again, take this off, and do a search. And these are recipients that are in this particular organization right here. And I'm just going to select one just randomly. Okay. And these are real people, but I don't have their emails here, so we won't be able to actually contact them. Okay. We are in our training system. All right. Now I have a organization match with this. I also have an authorized representative match, and now I'm going to generate a brand new award number. So I just click the button. We now have an award number, NA, which stands for NOAA, 20 stands for fiscal year 20. GOT is our training line office, grants online training. 998 represents the CFDA number that we use in the training system. And 0120 is just a sequential number that is put in by the system. All right. We should have done everything that we have needed to do at this point. I'm going to click Save and Return to Main. And we can now forward this particular application to the competition manager to prepare for the selection package. Submit. The steps that I just went through, I need to do those for the other two applications. So I'm going to do that very quickly so that we can move forward in our process. So I'm going to assign the award number to the application. Again, we have our non-construction here. In this case, I'm going to select multi-state. I'll leave it at multi-state for the place of performance. It's already done there. I'll scroll down here. Let me pick an authorized representative. Search. I've got an authorized representative here. Let me go on down here, generate a new award number. We have 0121, and we can now save and return to main and forward this one to the competition manager for the selection package. And we need to do this one more time. So here's the last of the three applications that were on this particular competition. Notice this. The negotiated federal funding does not match the amount approved by the selecting official. Remember that as the selecting official, I actually changed the recommended amount of the federal funding. So let me go all the way down to the bottom. And I can see now that the selecting official approved federal funding was changed to $5,000. Originally, the federal funding on this was $10,000. So what I'm going to do is I am going to modify the funding on this particular application so that it is in line with the recommendation made by the selecting official. So I'm going to edit this line here. Notice I changed the total funding to $5,000. I'm going to edit the funding line here. And I'm going to change this $10,000 to $5,000 to match what was recommended by my selecting official. Now, in actuality, not only would I have changed these numbers, but now I would have also had to go back to the applicant and get a revised SF-424 that will reflect these numbers here. We're not going to do that for the purposes of the demo. Let me again do the authorized representative lookup. I'm just going to select one person here. Select. All right, so now we have a person that's associated with this particular application. And last thing we need to do is generate a new award number. Okay, so it is now 0122. All right, we have award numbers for everything. Everything has been done that has to be done at this point. I'm going to click Save and Return to Main. I'm going to now forward to the competition manager for the selection package. So let's look at our process map. We have now completed step 10 and step 11. We have forwarded all 3 of our applications to our competition manager. Notice now on the very bottom line of this process map, we are changing the main document of the process. We're no longer using the competition as the main document. We have switched to the selection package. Okay, so from this point to the end of the process map, we're going to be working on the selection package as opposed to the competition. So I am going to go back to my inbox and let's go look at this process map one more time because now I'm switching hats. I'm switching from being the assigned program officer to being the competition manager again. Just so happens as I set this particular competition up so the same person was in each of these roles, but now I am going to be operating as a competition manager. All right, so now I have a task. The task is competition manager review of the selection package. Okay, so I'm going to click on here. Make sure I clicked on the view, slide over. There we go. And here is my notice. I said the selection package is no longer the competition page. We're now working on the selection package page. So let's go ahead and review the selection package so that we can enter any information that we need to enter. And basically on this page, you're just going to be uploading documents wherever you see areas that have the little plus sign. You will be uploading the appropriate documentation that goes with each of these alphabetical letters that are coming from guidance in the Department of Commerce Grants Manual. This particular page is actually designed from the chapter in the Department of Commerce Grants Manual that is dealing with the selection package. And so if you need more guidance, we do have a guidance link here, but you can go directly to the Department of Commerce Grants Manual, look up the chapter dealing with the selection package, and it will give you the information you need to know about each one of these items that are on this page. At this point, I'm not actually going to go in depth about each of these items, other than just to say each of them needs to be filled in, appropriate attachments should be uploaded as needed. And then when you're all done, you go down to the bottom and you check letter K. Now, letter K is it should identify who your actual selecting official is. Now, your selecting official may be a person who's not actually going to be in Grants Online pushing any buttons. So if that's the case, there's going to be somebody else with an account in Grants Online that has the role of selecting official. And that person will be pushing the buttons in proxy for the actual selecting official. Whoever is going to be pushing the buttons, that's the person whose name is going to initially show up on letter K. If that's not the actual selecting official, you can modify this. So you would need to modify this actual selecting officials name. Okay, so you would modify that particular, these boxes so that you reflect the actual selecting official and their contact information. In addition, right here where it says Selection Choices Report, this should be an uploaded document that has the actual signature of the selecting official, and that is the authoritative memo that says that these particular applications will be funded underneath this competition. All right. At this point, once you have uploaded everything, I'm going to click Save and Return to Main. And we're going to send this selection package through the final workflow. Let's again look at our workflow down at the bottom. Everything has been uploaded. All the attachments have been added. Now we're going to send it back to the same selection official. This is the same person that got this task up here. Now they're going to get the official selection package right here. Once they have completed their review, they're going to send it off to the lawyers, and that will be the end of this particular process map. So as a competition manager, I'm going to go ahead and send it on to the selecting official. Okay. I'm going to log off, log in as the selecting official. All right. Here's the task to review the selection package. We're going to review the selection package as the selecting official. This person will review, make sure everything that should be attached is attached. Make sure that their selection memo is attached. Make sure their name is in here properly. Save and return to main. Okay, at this point, the last thing that they would do was to initiate the FALD review and submit. FALD being the Federal Assistance Law Division. Those are our Department of Commerce lawyers that operate on behalf of the various bureaus. I'm going to log off here. Back to our process map. We have just completed steps 16 and 17. We have now moved the selection package to the lawyers. So I'm going to do step 18 and 19. Okay. And here's our task, again, to review the selection package. The lawyers can review the selection package. They're going to, again, look at all of the documents that have been uploaded on this page. Notice they can't make any changes, okay? They can only add their own comments. So the lawyers have a section J where they can upload a document with their comments, but all of the other areas, they're just doing a review. They're not uploading anything. Save and return to main. And hopefully they're going to say no legal objection and submit. At this point, we have now completed this process right here. And now we have completed the competitive application selection process. The next process map will be done in a different video. I will just give you a little taste of what that process map looks like. It is going to be Comp 4, and this is where we're going to start the award processing and creating our award packages. I hope you found this helpful, and this is all for this particular webinar. So you have a wonderful afternoon.